Hello, 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 and today I want to talk about survivorship bias and how a lot of us analyze Yu-Gi-Oh! Incorrectly. And what do I mean by that? It all started with a plane, right? I was thinking of survivorship bias as a concept, and for those of you that don't know survivorship and are unfamiliar with it, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story and how it has to do with World War II, and then how we're misusing it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. Yes, we're falling for this trap ourselves, but let me explain. Back in World War II, planes, our top engineers were working on how to protect their bomber planes better. You see, they had a schematic here of the planes that were returning that survived attacks from World War II, and these were the planes that were coming back. The schematic right here, these red dots are representing the bullet holes. And the questions on the engineer's mind is, hey, where can we armor up these planes to make them survive more? So the thought was initially, okay, let's armor them up, right? We have the schematics. We see where they're getting hits. We need to just, put more armor on where they're getting hit. Because look, that's where they're getting hit. Let's put armor on it. But an ingenious top engineer realized, no, that's a mistake. These are the planes that are coming back. And he noticed there was a mistake in the logic, the reasoning. These are the planes that are coming back. So that means that they can technically take damage in these locations. What we really need to be doing is armoring up the spots that they're not getting hit, because that's showing, again, these are the spots where plane can get hit and survive. The spots where the planes aren't surviving, the planes that aren't coming back, are the ones that are getting hit in the rotor where the pilot lands. Right there by the wing is probably detaching the wing and they're not coming back. That's where we need to armor up. It's the opposite of what you're thinking. And so that's a really interesting concept. And actually, that's what's going on in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. And let me show you an example of how there's survivorship bias in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? And how we're falling for it and how we can actually analyze the correct decks, right? So let me give you an example here. I'm showing you a top deck breakdown of YCS Milan 2018. And so that's a big clue. So to some people who already know what I'm talking about, which one of these decks do you think won? And what should we be looking out for, right? I'm not going to give it away just yet. I want to actually show you the answer. The deck that actually won was the others, right? You see, this was YCS Milan. It was won by Dankabui. He brought a Prank Kids deck. This Prank Kids deck, too, by the time, nobody really thought that this deck had even a chance of winning. He brought this deck on his own. It was innovative. It was before they even had Meow Moo, so he had to hard combo and hard make the Prank Kids. Very ingenious how he built his deck. Because remember, everyone's and their mothers bringing Sky Strikers and Thunder Dragons. He decided, let me bring this deck. And he's fighting against, again, a sea of all of these other decks. And it's interesting to note because these are the decks normally that we should be looking at that have the survivorship bias, because what's going on is everyone sees these as the big decks to beat. And so what they do is they just bring more of them. So these are the decks that are surviving, right? And in turn, they're bringing more and more of the same thing. Well, eventually, they're going to get hit on the ban list and something new is going to have to come out of here. And that's exactly what Dankabui did. He brought a deck that nobody thought had a chance and brought it back. So what happened next was the next YCS people brought some Prank Kids and it didn't work. So the next YCS after that, the same thing happened, right? You can see even like someone tried, they're like, Prank Kids didn't work, or the Thunder Dragons won, or Strikers. So they went back to doing that. And you know what won this time? No, it wasn't the Prank Kids, right? But it's funny that some people now, that's on the table somehow, like, ooh, he brought Prank Kids to the table. No, it was this time, this was run by Raphael, who brought a Luna Light deck to the table. Yes, he used Danger Luna Light again. a really weird deck that not many people were thinking, because again, everybody and their mom is thinking that this is the top, right? Again, the survivors are the Sky Strikers and Thunder Dragons. When we really need to look, when we're looking for good decks, the good, well-built decks are probably down at the bottom. And now let me use a modern example, right? So here's an example where the survivors won, right? The Snake Eye Tenpai won. But as you could see in this Brazil YCS Rio de Janeiro, right, 2024, the Snake Eyes was the winner in all of these duelists. But here's the thing that we need to look out for. When it comes to the top 32, any one of these decks really can be a winner. And by the way, my next video I'm coming out with is going to be how mathematically you're probably better off using one of these than one of these, how these decks mathematically are better. Even if they have like a 50% win ratio compared to something like Snake Eyes that might have a 60 or 70% win ratio. And I'm going to go into that mathematically in another video. But I'm talking about survivorship bias here, and really, these are the decks that we want to analyze, like Fluandereeze, the Despia, the Horse, the Pearly deck. We really want to see how these decks are built, because these are the decks that could have easily have won as well. They're the decks that are, again, not really being looked at and need to, be scrutinized. We need to scrutinize these and really study these, because, again, these decks were fighting all of the Snake Eyes, all of the Tenpais, and they were beating them. That's how they got to that position, right? They're probably beating them enough. And again, when I show you this new math video, even if these decks were beating them at a 75% chance, right? 75, 75, 75, 75, you can only go so many times until you eventually lose to that 25% chance. And I can't wait to show you that video. Here's another interesting example too of a different kind of survivorship bias in Yu-Gi-Oh! A rarity survivorship bias. Look what this guy said. They were talking about, I saw on a video, banning cards, right? And this guy, they were having a conversation about banning Snake Eye Oak. Here's what he said. This guy said, I agree banning Oak. Despite its low rarity, that dude revives any level 1 fire, not only in the grave, also banished, but it can also special summon any Snake Eyes. I don't understand its low rarity, right? Look at that sentence again. I don't even understand its low rarity. That's a bias in itself. Rarity bias, survivorship bias, saying the higher the rarity, the better the card, right? So this guy makes a good counterexample here. Why are you even bringing up rarity when we're talking about strength? You do know that rarity has actually nothing to do with strength, and it's just a way to make you buy more gems. This was in a conversation about Master Duel. But again, people have a bias, right? Again, they think the top decks are the best. They think the rarest cards are the best, right? Those ultra rare cards, or when you're opening the pack, the shiniest cards are the best. That's not true, right? Mathmech Circular or Tri-Brigade Revolt. Tri-Brigade Revolt, I'm sorry, and then the Mathmech Trap card, both of those are N rarities, and they do probably the most churning of their decks, and those are just the N rarities in Master Duel. Really interesting. Take a look at this. How to beat, right? This was when Unchained was at the top of the ladder, the cookies, or you show, so to say. How to beat Unchained now that it's winning championships. Again, the survivorship bias here is now that it's winning championships. What does it matter now that it's winning championships, right? It was always like that. It's, again, people, so once Unchained started winning, then everybody was bringing Unchained. People were coming out of the woodwork with Unchained. People were now swinging on Unchained's nuts like Tarzan. They're bringing all these Unchained, so now Unchained starts winning, but it's winning because of the sheer quantity of people coming and bringing it, and the fact that it won a couple of games. In fact, interestingly enough, it ended up getting banned. They banned Unchained Soul of Sharvara in the TCG. And I have two reasons why that could have been a thing, right? It could have been Konami, the TCG Konami, or whoever's in charge of the TCG ban list, were thinking, oh man, they're winning, and they themselves got caught up in the survivorship bias and was like, oh, we got to stop that, when really Unchained wasn't a problem. Or we can put our tinfoil hats on. Another theory could be is, hey, this deck is the one winning. Let's not only knock it down, but let's ban it because we're trying to push, we know Snake Eyes is coming out. This was before Snake Eyes, just right before it, right? Let's knock it down a peg to push new product. Now that's again, tinfoil hat theory, push product theory, maybe, who knows? But even to this day, Unchained Survivor is still left at 1. And that, I'm sorry, that's a bad ban. Unchained has no reason being banned. I know Fiendsmith is now coming out. So there you guys are like, oh, wait. Fiendsmith is coming out and they can use that. But that has nothing to do with Unchained. Unchained Pure really shouldn't be getting, banned. It has no point because, again, I think it's the survivorship bias now that it's winning championships. Very interesting. And that's just what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know what you think some survivorship bias that's going on in Yu-Gi-Oh! And how we can fight it. Come check me out on the Discord. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Again, I'm going to have some mathematical content coming out that's showing, my next video is going to show why a 50% deck can actually be better off winning than an 80% deck. Very interesting. I can't wait to show that to you. So subscribe and be the first ones to find it out. Join the Discord. Hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Let me know what you guys think too. I would really look forward to talking about survivorship bias in the comments. See you guys.